Pay attention because the next 3 minutes might be the most important things you learn before you take a trip to Japan. Hey, it's your dad here, and there are a few things that I wish I knew before I went to Japan, but really, this one would have been the most useful. I'm talking about using the Japanese subway and railway. Even with some help on the first day, it still took us several days to master this. The first thing that you need to know is that there are two main lines. The JR platforms are marked with a square, where the metro subway is marked with a circle. The JR line are generally a little more expensive than the metro. Both lines have all-day passes that you can purchase as well. The metro pass costs around 600 yen, whereas the JR pass costs around 750. The metro mainly serves the city of Tokyo, whereas the JR reaches out to the outlying areas. So if you're in Tokyo and you need to get to Disney Sea, which is in Chiba, you'll probably have to take a mix of the two trains. Your best tool for figuring out which train you need to be on is Google Maps. I tried Apple Maps as well, but Google was just better when it came to using the trains. So let's say you're staying in Akihabara, and you have a reservation at Team Labs. Google will tell you which way is the fastest and how much it's going to cost. I found it helpful to find the paths that use the metro line only. If you notice, it says it's 398 yen. The trains and the subway are based off of the distance you're going to be traveling. So if you were to take the train both ways, it would be more than the cost of a single day pass. Plus, on your way back to Akihabara, you may want to stop at Shibuya and go shopping. Now the day pass has paid for itself and then some. So once you've chosen which trains you want to take to get there, Google gives you new information. So the first thing you see is you want to find the Hibiya line and platform 1. The next really important piece of information that you're shown here is the destination of the train and the time. Because say you get to the train a little early and there's a train there, it's very possible that it's not going to the place you intend to go. And yes, I learned this the hard way. It's a good thing that I was tracking which direction I was going on maps because that's how I knew I was not going to Disney. The next bit of helpful information on this page is that Google tells you how many stops you're going to pass and their names. Since no name is going to be familiar to you, even after it's just been said, it's really helpful to follow along. So then you notice that when you get off the train, there's a 7-minute walk and you're actually changing stations at this point. They make it really easy to follow though. You just follow the Circle Y to the Yurakucho line, and when you get there, go to platform 1. And make sure you get on the train that's going to Shinkaiba at 12:12, just as it says there. Their trains are really accurate, and Google will let you know if there happens to be something that happened and the train is delayed. I highly recommend practicing this on Google Maps before you even get there. All you have to do is choose your destination, click on Get Directions, and then choose your starting point. Seriously, practice. It's going to save you a lot of headaches and a lot of wrong turns. Okay, so let's talk trash. Many people will tell you that there are not a lot of trash cans in Japan. This is true. And it's not a bad idea to keep a Ziploc bag to carry some trash with you. But here's the thing. It is also considered to be rude if you're walking while eating. So if you're in a food market and you buy something to eat, it's expected that you will stand there and eat it. Some places even offer seating. When you're done eating and you have trash, the vendor is always very happy to take it from you and throw it away for you. You don't have to carry most trash that you acquire in Japan. Note, this goes only for the trash you acquire at that vendor. One piece of trash you might end up carrying around is an empty bottle from a vending machine. Many vending machines do have recycle bins next to them. That once again carries along the expectation that you're going to finish that drink there. So if you have a water bottle that you're carrying around all day and sipping out of, make sure to leave a little extra space in your day pack for empty bottles. Perhaps the hardest thing for me to adjust to when I was in Japan is beverages in restaurants. The first thing you notice about beverages in restaurants is that they're a fairly small cup, which will quickly lead you to my next discovery: they don't refill them. Water is the exception, but it's not that it gets refilled, it's that there is usually a pitcher of water on the table. So I recommend just drinking water while you're in a restaurant, and when you leave, if you're still thirsty, grab something out of a vending machine. Because honestly, the price of a soda in a restaurant's about 350 yen. You can get the same thing for 140 yen out of a vending machine, and it'll be larger. Here's a quick one that will save your life. Growing up in the United States, we were always taught that when we come up to a street that we intend to cross, we will look left, we look right, and then we look left again. That's great for a society that drives on the right. It's a hard habit to break after a lifetime of doing this as well, but when you walk up to that street in Japan, you better look right or you can get smacked by a car. And the cars are quiet, so you'll never hear it coming. Here's something my wife thought of that I would never have considered and turned out to be one of the most helpful things we ever did. Our first day in Japan, we hired a personal tour guide. Being a personal tour guide, it was just my family. It cost us $100 per person for the day, and we went from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Our guide was Satoshi, and the first thing he taught us was some of that stuff I taught you about the trains. I still made the error of getting on the wrong train the moment I left his company, but that was my fault, not his. The first thing he did was take us to a market. He clearly knew a lot of the vendors at the market, and because of that, we got to try a lot of samples. And yes, some of those samples turned into purchases. He took us to many shrines, but better than that, we learned about the shrines from him, and he taught us the customs and even helped us to participate in them. This was a great way to get our trip started. I would have video to go with all these experiences, but I lost a memory card to my 360 camera. So this next thing is really a tip for any extended trip you're going to make. Buy the largest memory card that your camera can handle. For most of my trips, I never need anything more than a 256 gigabyte card. That gives me 4 hours of footage. If you swap memory cards, there's always a chance you're going to lose a memory card. I had placed my memory card in this slot in the battery charger for my camera. This is where it's intended to go. I have to assume that at some point when I was changing out a battery, the memory card fell out and it's gone forever. So if you happen to be in Kyoto and you find a little micro SD card that's 256 gigabytes, put a message in the comments. You'll be my hero. This might be more of a generalized travel tip, but it was very true for us in Japan. You might want to bring a second pair of shoes. At some point in your trip, it's probably going to rain. This will also probably not stop you from sightseeing. Even if you have an umbrella and a rain poncho, it is very likely that you're going to be soaked from the knee down. And putting on soggy shoes with dry socks the next day, very unpleasant. So I recommend bringing another pair of walking shoes. Honestly, just the change out for different pressure points would have been nice. So the last thing I want to mention is something you may have heard on another video, and that is that Japan is a cash-based society. I will say of the nearly $5,000 we spent in Japan, only $1,000 was spent in cash. And that is mostly on food. The places you're going to get the best food do only accept cash. I appreciate you watching and getting to the end of this video. Please subscribe. I have more videos about our trip to Japan coming up. One I am really anticipating making is how to survive in Japan as a picky eater. So I'll see you next time.